Good afternoon, Internet. My name is Dracula Pontifex, and this is Smash or Pass. The premise is simple, and we all know it instinctively. Would I smash, or wouldn't I? Let's get started. Amy from Fright Night. Okay. I know that I have been vocal and outspoken of my appreciation for those peoples of the world with ginger/auburn hair. I know. And I meant every word I said. However, it's not a hard and fast rule. There are exceptions to every rule. And that mount is the exception to the ginger rule. Because, well, look at it. Just no. Also, that is just all of the eye makeup in the world. I don't think there's any eye makeup left in the world. Production is being ramped up to meet the demands of this individual. But it shall be some months before supplies are restocked. Just no, pass. Arvin from 30 Days of Night. Again, disreputable dental hygiene. Also, he looks very bloody. Which, yeah, I know, vampires, but still. Get a napkin. You know, other than the mouth, I feel like if he cleaned up a bit, he would actually have some good stuff going for him. He looks like he would clean up well. But it doesn't matter if he doesn't actually do the cleaning up well, you know? He could have been real close to a yes, but we're going to go with pass. Barlow from 30 Days of Night. Again, a little messy. Could have used a bib or a napkin of some kind. I'm not sure how I feel about the all black eyes. Part of it's kind of creepy, part of it kind of not. I'm torn. I'd insist he take a bit of a shower first to clean up all the blood. But, you know what? Yeah, I'll give him a go. I'll give it a go. Sure. But no biting. Just the first time I've ever said that. Smash. Comet Vampire from Life Force. What? Never heard of it. And kinda glad I never heard of it. Less vampire, more angry bat. No. Too much bitey, too much bat, not enough people. No. Plus, this one's already got a sword sticking out of him, and that doesn't feel healthy. Yeah, pass. Darla from Buffy the Vampire Slayer. Well, in the face, I'm not impressed. All of the Buffy the Vampire Slayer vampires got the same vibe to them. A little too wrinkly, in that weird kind of way. I don't really like the yellow eyes either, and I think they all got yellow eyes. But, on the other hand, counter-argument here, other than the faces, they stayed completely normal. So yeah, the face isn't doing too hot, but the rest of her is a normal lady. Which, if I recall the show, is fine. Okay, so yes, but don't look at me. Smash. David from The Lost Boys. That's young Kiefer Sutherland, yeah? Yeah, he's a good actor, I like him. Unless he said something stupid lately, in which case I don't. Yeah, honestly, as far as, vampire effects go, he's quite minimal. Yeah, he's got the bitey teeth, sure. And his eyes are a bit weird. But honestly, they're not that bad. Yeah, smash. Dracula from Van Helsing. Okay, hear me out. Hold on. Let me talk. Hold on. I know. Not a lot there to work with, I know. He's quite feral in that picture. Sure. And that mouth is disturbing at best. Sure. And I'm not vibing the bat wings. Also true. But it's Dracula, you know? It's Dracula. Admit it. And I know this is true because you've been watching me this long. If you had the opportunity to casually drop in conversation, oh yeah, one time I shagged Dracula, you would love all the looks you would get. You would love it. All the questions, all the attention would immediately be upon you. You would be the focus of that event from that point forward. And it doesn't matter really what you would say. People would see you in a new light. Some of them would be very impressed. Some of them would be a little disturbed and a little impressed. Yeah, I got it. It's Dracula, you know? Yeah, smash. Jared and Omac from Blade 2. Jared, buddy, you doing all right? I don't think you are. No, the whole face, everything from the neck up is just too much to deal with emotionally, and physically, and socially. No, pass. Kurt Barlow from Salem's Lot. He kind of looks like he's got, like, clay on his face, you know? Does that look like clay to anyone else? Like modeling clay, like a thin layer of modeling clay? Play-Doh or something? Those teeth are highly impractical. Those don't feel efficient at all. The eyes I could get over, but the rest, no, I don't think so. The whole time I'd be wanting to ask him why his teeth are shaped like that, because that's not practical for any kind of feeling. And I feel like the texture would be weird all over his head. And I presume not just his head, but the rest of him looks like that too. That doesn't look like it's going to be a nice texture to touch, you know? No, I'll pass. Marcus Corvinus from Underworld Evolution. Again, I'm not a huge fan of the little bat wings, although these look even less practical. His head shape's a little weird. He's so cranky looking. On the other hand, I kind of dig the way he's holding himself. It's a little bold, a little cocky, a little arrogant almost, but not quite. He's showing off the musculature and he's proud of it. Almost like he's posing, you know? Maybe it's the attitude, maybe it's the lack of viable options in this go-through, but I'm going to say okay. Smash. Marco from The Lost Boys. Well, like Kiefer, his vampire facade is not too bad. Teeth make sense. The eyes aren't too terrible. A little sunken in, but that's okay. I don't know how he does it, but he does kind of look like the vampire who would still spike your drink. Anyone else get that impression? He's got all the vampire, like, magical, supernatural charm going on. He could lure people in with his own charisma. He looks like he would still prefer to just spike your drink, which is somehow worse than normal spiking your drink, which is already pretty terrible. Now pass. Max Schreck from Shadow the Vampire. As far as the vampireness goes, it's not so bad. No weird special effects. However, Max here kinda looks a bit like Jim Carrey. He looks like a young Jim Carrey, but not actual young Jim Carrey, an alternate universe young Jim Carrey, where instead of becoming a successful actor, he has instead become a drug-abusing homeless man. No offense to homeless people, or drugs, but a drug-abusing homeless person who also steals and collects women's shoes. And he wants nothing more than to show you his collection. So the worst Jim Carrey. Yeah, that's gonna be a pass. Maximilian from Vampire in Brooklyn. Generally, I think he's alright. The vampire facade is not too terrible. No weird extremities or added facial bits. His vampire claws look more like coke nails than claws. And that fucking 80s hair. Oof. No, if I'm going to go with a vampire, I'm not going to go with an 80s vampire. And this guy screams the 80s. Sorry, Max, but no. Pass. Richie Gecko from Dusk Till Dawn. Richie, my boy. Richie here looks like my big toe after I accidentally kicked the table. Not only does that hurt, and it makes you feel dumb, but it's also the least erotic looking thing I could possibly imagine. No. Just no. Pass. Santanico Pandemonium from Dusk Till Dawn. On one hand, the vampireness is a little much. It's a little intense. It looks scaly almost. And honestly, I'm not impressed by the leopard print skin. I'm not a fan of leopard print in general. However, on the other hand, I do appreciate her desire to keep the girls on display, even while being in vampire mode. She looks like she's there for a good time, you know? Like that top screams, I'm here to be wild. And it might be a bit of a challenge, given the face and the head, but I think the attitude, I think the eagerness could make up for it. And I'm willing to try. Smash. Spike from Buffy the Vampire Slayer. The best vampire from Buffy the Vampire Slayer. But would I spike him? I'm gonna be honest, I don't think I would. The hair is a lot, plus the typical Buffy vampire face. And yes, the rest of him is normal. We did discuss this. However, have you watched the show? He's got a personality to him. And I don't know if I need that level of emo in my life. Like, I've already got my own personal drama. Of course I got personal drama. I'm doing this, aren't I? But that doesn't mean I need a second helping of it. And God forbid, if things went well and he caught feelings, he might write poetry. In that case, it's over for me. No, I'm sorry, Spike, but no, pass. Subsider from Daybreakers. It's like someone took Batman and decided to make him a vampire in their OC fanfiction. I don't want anything to do with that. No, I don't believe so. You could take your weird lettery arm wings and just go. Pass. The Master from The Strain. That face is something only a mother could be forced to love at gunpoint. Also, the Master, is that what you're calling yourself? The Master? What's your name? The Master. Oh, alright. You pretentious fuck. I don't need that kind of attitude. Nobody needs that kind of attitude. If you meet someone and they say that their name is the Master, just go. Just go. Don't talk to them. Don't reinforce this kind of behavior. Nobody should act like this. This is a name came up with by a 13-year-old edgelord. Pass. Turok Han from Buffy the Vampire Slayer. It's like they took a Ferengi from Star Trek and turned it into a vampire. He looks like a Ferengi, don't he? Maybe it's just me, I don't know. But he do. I have never ever wanted to spend time with a Ferengi. No. They're little grubby fingies. No, I'll pass. Vampire from Priest. Well, you would never see it coming. Pass. Alright, that's enough for now. If you've watched this long, you're just as weird as I am, so don't judge me. I'll see you next time. Cheers.